Alright guys, before I start out this video, I do want to say, yes, I am wearing the shirt backwards. It has a college logo on it, and not that I don't like you guys, but I don't necessarily want you guys to know where I'm living, so we're gonna flip that college logo around, and I do know I'm wearing my shirt backwards. Do not worry about that. I am aware that my shirt is on backwards. So alright guys, the new DC Unchained update came out. I didn't look as deep into the XP as maybe I should have. I heard they were changing it, but most changes 433 has made to this game has always been for the betterment, in my opinion, making the grind less. But they increased the grind significantly yesterday, and I did not talk about that in my video, and I need to talk about this. This is, I mean, I was assuming maybe people were overreacting, but I mean, it's pretty bad, the increases to the grind in this game, and I've classified a bunch of things. I have a doc here. First off, let's start with the good changes in the patch. Let's a little good news with the bad news. Good news, changes to gear upgrades. They're easier to upgrade now. That's great. Skill upgrades, easier to upgrade skills now. That's great. They're decreasing the gold costs to go to S rank. That's great. Easier to go to S rank. No level requirements to go up in a rank. That's great. New exchange for gold card from silver cards, another great change. The new content, the new characters, the new campaign, awesome, and clear tickets are also great. But now we're gonna get into all the really bad stuff about this update, and first off, and probably the worst offender, is the XP grind now. Now, according to DK Solstice, sorry for mispronouncing that name, but he made a post on the subreddit talking about pre-update, it would take 6,000 XP to get from level 59 to 60. So to get a character from 59 to 60, 6,000 XP. With the current update and the XP changes they made, it is 18,000 XP to get from level 53 to 54. And right now, when I have my characters at level 58, trying to get them to 59, it is 20,400 XP to get from level 58 to 59. That is, I mean, we're at 6,000 to now over, I mean, that's like a 3 times plus increase to the amount of XP you need. And that's bad right there. But then they decrease the XP you earn from Unchained mode. I just ran Kandak on hard. Again, it's probably not the maximum I could run a mission at, but it's what my Superman can handle while carrying 2 weaker guys. And I get roughly 180 XP per mission run, and that's for 20 energy. So I can only get 1,800 XP per max energy bar. And I mean, that is a massive amount of grinding to go through to get a character just from level 53 to 54. I mean, you're talking like 10-ish full energy bars just to get from 53 to 54. I mean, this is absurd. I mean, if you look at games like Marvel Strike Force, it's relatively easy to go from level to level. It's not perfect, and it's not completely easy. I mean, it takes resources, but it's not. Leveling up a character isn't the hardest part of the game. Future Fight, it's not the hardest part of the game. In those games, getting a star rank up is the hardest part of the game. I think a lot of these changes are because DC Unchained, they don't know how to do this system. This is a unique system to mobile games. I've never seen a progression system like this. There's no star system of the characters. There's only leveling, and then you customize the characters, which is great. I'm interested in a no star system, but they don't seem like they understand how to make this system sustainable right now, and they keep on changing things. And if this is what they're gonna have to do to sustain it, then I'd much rather have a star system where you rank up characters to 6 stars or something like that. I mean, I think since because this is a foreign system and they probably don't even know what they're doing, I think they're continuously trying to change things around. And what we'll see in this update is they changed way too many things to make the grind longer. I definitely think the grind did need to be increased. It was probably too easy to get a character up to max rank. But they changed like 4 major things to make the grind harder. I think there's only one change they made this patch that should stick. I think everything else should go back. The XP grind, horrible. Go back to the old XP. This is absolute garbage. This is no, just major no, major pass. I know people are uninstalling the game because of this XP grind, and quite frankly, I don't blame them. This XP grind is outrageous. The little covers the little cards they use to upgrade the character's skill level. More often than not, you're getting the level 1 skill, or what would you call it, the XP card. That's only worth 100 XP, and you need 18,000 XP to get from 53 to 54. So major pass on the XP. Another interesting change is covers went from having 10 levels to 120 levels. Now in concept, this is fine. I understand why they did this. They want there to be a little less, they want you to have a little more rewarding, so instead of like every month ranking up a cover, now every couple of days maybe you'd be ranking up a cover, and it'll feel more rewarding to go through. But they just devalued covers, and that's, again, that's fine. But then you need to significantly increase cover drops. Like, you need to multiply cover drops tenfold. I mean, these are what a cover used to be worth. A cover used to be worth like 20 tenacity. Like, that's what you'd get from one of the ranks. Now a cover is worth rank 1 of a cover, which is now only 2 tenacity, and they're still dropping roughly the same amount of covers. I think the system's okay, but you need to like bump your cover drop rates up a ton, because now to get the same worth of that one cover gave you before patch, you need to get your covers to rank 10 to have the equivalent. Because if you had your cover at rank 1 pre-patch, now they're rank 10, rank 2, rank 20, etc, etc. But if you had your cards laying around and you didn't actually equip them, then you only have one cover laying around now that is only worth one level 1 cover. So I'm sorry about that if you didn't use your covers before patch, because now you're kind of you kind of got ripped off there. I'm sorry about that. Again, I think they should multiply the covers you had by 10 or something if you didn't use them, to give you more worth to your covers, because you just got bamboozled there. Because you might be like, well, why didn't you use your covers as soon as you got them? There's like an achievement in the game for having 10 million gold at once or something like that. So I know a lot of people have been not spending things on stuff they don't need to necessarily spend things on. So they had them laying around. They didn't want to waste the gold because they wanted to get to that achievement as quick as possible. So super sorry if you had that, because you got ripped off. Not only did they nerf the XP, not only did they nerf covers, but now we're not getting stamina potions from our daily objectives by completing all the daily objectives. You can only have 2 special missions per day. I think it used to be 3 pre-patch, but they do give more. But it's still, why drop it down to 2, especially now when you're decreasing the amount of gold we get from other places. Simulation gives nowhere near enough gold as it should be. I mean, we're talking like thousands of gold that you get from, and you need to be getting hundreds of thousands from simulation. I mean, this is nowhere near enough gold that you're getting from there. They decreased the honor point drops from DC Unchained, like the Unchained mode. You're not getting as many honor points there, which is the best way to get character tickets. They increased the craft time for things like Valorium or covers, I believe, in your base. So just so many nerfs all around the board. I mean, this is way too much. And again, guys, sorry for not reporting on this maybe as I should have, but it doesn't come through exactly what they're doing in the translation. They just said they're making changes, so again, I assumed these were all going to be positive changes, but these are clearly not positive changes, and that's why I wanted to put this video out, just to tell you guys about how bad this is. Another major controversial move they made was the energy nerf. Now, personally, I'm not as against this as a lot of people are. I know some people are like, oh my gosh, the game, this is horrible, and it's definitely... It's not the best, but I completely understand why they did it. We were getting things way too fast, and I think this is the one nerf from the patch they should keep. If they continue to have us grind how we were beforehand, I think only allowing us to run like, what would it be, 10 Unchained missions at once before it has to recharge, I think that would slow down the grind enough that way it'd be a fair rate. Or if you wanted to speed it up, you'd be buying stamina potions, so then they are making money, so then, you know, they're all good with that. I think this is the only nerf this patch that is reasonable, but it was only reasonable with pre-patch, the kind of grind that it was beforehand, where it wasn't that steep, and you could make pretty good progress in terms of the increments of running Unchained missions like 10 times. Now you get almost nothing from running Unchained 10 times. I think some ways that people would be a little more open to the energy system is maybe if you could get 10 bonus max energy for every character we had. I think it'd be a good way to encourage people to build out the rosters, and it'd still keep some kind of resemblance to the old system where you'd be rewarded for having a wide roster. I know that'd still be 560 energy at the end of it, because 200 plus 10 for every character. But I mean, having 560 energy compared to 3600 energy, they'd be slowing down our potential grind significantly. So I think it'd be fair if they did that, and I think a lot more people would be more open to it, and I think this is what they need to keep in order to slow down the grind to where it needs to be, so that way the game's sustainable. So at the end of the day, way too many changes for 33. You guys, like, it's like you guys had a little lever there that you were like, it's like at a 2 for the grind, and you're trying to move it up to maybe like a 4, and then you like sneezed when you're doing it, and you moved it up to 11, but there isn't even an 11 on there. Somehow you guys moved it up to an 11. It's hard to play the game with this kind of XP. I mean, the grind was too easy. They definitely need to change things, but I think with the energy system we have now, I think that's plenty of change to slow down the grind. You know, change the energy system, see how that works, test that out. If it's still not working with just the energy change, then maybe you can slightly change some of these other things, but honestly, I think things would work just fine with only the energy nerf. Flat out, guys, go back on the XP change. That's disgusting. Go back on XP. Covers, you can keep what you have now, but you need to really look at the cover drops, and you need to bump those up a ton. So overall, guys, let me know what you think down below. I've been browsing the subreddit, I've been browsing YouTube, and I know a lot of you are not happy. And again, in the closed beta state that the game is in right now, this is when 433 is most open to change things. They've changed things before, and they need to know that we're against this. They're not going to change it immediately because, of course, they're kind of hoping we're fine with this. But if we argue with them on this, I'm sure they'll change it back. If you look on Plug, again, what's kind of hard is the Plug forums. That's probably the best way to reach them, but they kind of don't. It's kind of full of like 7-year-olds. They're like, why isn't Blue Beetle in the game? Why haven't you released the game yet? It's full of that, so it's really hard to get constructive criticism through on the Plug forums. But we need to find a way. Maybe there's a supporting game. Actually, alright guys, I did a quick search in the game and I found out an area where you can go in to talk to support. You're gonna go. Alright, so you're on the home screen right now. I want you to envision this in your mind. Go to the top right, where it has the little 3 lines for that little icon to go to the menu. You're in the menu now. Go to the bottom right of the menu. Click on Option. Go over to the right tab on the Option menu. Click Info. Then go down in the Info tab and click on Support. You're going to be taken out of the game. It's going to load up this little thingamabobber. What I know is you're going to go to the bottom of this now, and you're going to hit Inquire. You're going to probably pick Suggestion. I'd imagine Suggestion fits this. Other issues, I don't know. Pick whichever one you want. Type in your thing. Type in your nickname. Type in your email. You know, talk to support now. We need to reach them. We need them to know that we're not happy with this. If we don't tell them, they're going to leave this, and just uninstalling the game. While I completely understand why you're doing that, that doesn't help the problem. It might, you know, maybe, I don't know, they might have the uninstalling stats, but, you know, people uninstall games all the time. Unless it's like a significant boost, I don't think they're going to be like, oh my gosh. So we need to talk to support. We need to get our word through. So I'm sorry, guys, I didn't necessarily report on this as well as I should have. One thing I'm always fearful of as a YouTuber is, of course, critiquing a game. Because you can sacrifice a potential relationship with the developer. Most developers, I'm not saying all developers, but developers definitely prefer people that usually don't rip on their game. More people that are buddy-buddy with them, and they never really complain about things, and they always talk about how great every update is. And I don't find those YouTubers honest, and I usually don't follow those YouTubers that do that kind of thing. So I want to make sure I'm as honest as possible, and at 433, if you're watching this, I really like the work you're doing on this game. I don't mean to, you know, break off a potential relationship with you guys, but I want you guys to know that this will not work. This is, I mean, this is bad, guys. You need to change this back from Pokemon, from Isaac, I mean, I don't know some of you guys, from Isaac. I'm telling you right now, this will not work. But what do I know about DC Unchained, guys? I mean, what's my dog know? Let me see if I can... Hey. Hope. She's asleep. She has no opinion on this. What do I know about DC Unchained, guys? I am just a 16-year-old. Signing off, guys.